皆さん、こんにちは。Joanna です。So today in this video we will see what manga I recommend to start reading manga in Japanese and how you can, let's say, level up your manga reading skills. So let's go. So I've been reading manga since I was 12 years, but of course I didn't read it in Japanese, I read it in Spanish. And when I started to learn Japanese, I have to say buying manga in Japanese was harder than it is currently in Spain. At least I didn't know a way at that time to buy manga when I started. Well, I didn't start at 12 learning Japanese. I started at 16 years. I thought it was 70 when I was 17, but it's not. I checked the other day and it was when I was 16. But well, at that time, when I was 16 years old, there wasn't an easy way to buy manga. The first manga I bought, it was from Amazon that I bought from, I think, secondhand. I'm not sure, but it was the only one that I could buy at that time. And yes, I bought a manga that not everyone would like. I'm super sure of that, but it's called 私が持ってってどうすんだ? I think in English the translation is completely different. Is Kiss Him Not Me. I will try to put a photo of the manga over here. And well, I bought that, and when I bought it, I think it was 2 years after I started learning Japanese. I have to admit it was pretty easy to read. Things you need to know about reading manga in Japanese. First of all, the reading order. But if you read manga before, I'm pretty sure you know it. But a Japanese, here I have the manga that I want to recommend you guys. Sorry, this one over here. But as you can see, when we read a book in English or Spanish, it's like that we open it, right? So in Japanese, that would be the back cover. Japanese is backwards. It starts from here. And then it goes, I will put a picture for you to see, but it basically goes like this. So from the top part to the bottom part, and from the right to the left. But well, I will put a photo so you guys can see it. And well, basically, this is also more things that you need to know is that I recommend 100% to buy a shonen manga. That type of manga does have furigana. If you know what furigana is basically when the kanjis have how we read them in Japanese in the top part of them. For example, well, this one is for kids, so it also has that. Let me show you an example of furigana. Okay, here. As you can see, here we have the kanji to see. So this is misete, and you have the mi in hiragana over here. So you can know how to read it if you have no idea what kanji it is. So this is very important because if you buy, for example, Bakuman, you will not be able to read it. Well, if you know kanji, you will be able to read it, but you don't have furigana, so it could appear kanji that you don't know, or if you are starting, you will not know how to read it. So first point, you need to buy a shonen manga that has the furigana. So yeah, let me go back to this one. This is one of the things that I told in another video that a student that was living in Japan came here and she gave me as a present this, and it was a very pleasant surprise because I read it and I thought, wow, is this easy? This is amazing for a beginner. It's very easy to read, like super easy, very easy to understand, very easy to, everything. And if you get, like, say, a little bit stressed, because when we read in a language that is not ours, it's normal that sometimes it's a little bit overwhelming. So here every chapter is extremely short. When I say extremely short, I mean 3 pages or 4 long short. So that's very good for a beginner for sure. Let's imagine that you have no idea what a word is. You have 2 options. You can search it very easily, or you can just by the context of the pictures, you can really figure it out. About the grammar part of it, it's basically in informal Japanese. So if you still didn't see informal Japanese in your classes or in your learning, let's say, process, it can become a little bit hard in the sense that you will have a lot of verbs in te form, in nai form. But yet again, I still feel this is very easy for you to read. So if you want to start reading a manga in Japanese, this one for sure. If you live in Spain, it is not available in the page that I usually buy. So if you want to buy it, you need to go to CD Japan and you need to, pay the tax because the manga will come directly from Japan. If you live in another country, you can try to buy it in your regular Japanese bookstore, if you have one, of course, because it's not very common to have one. If you don't have one, yet again, CD Japan does make international shipping, but you need to pay the cost of the taxes. But yes, if one of your goals, one of your mokuteki in Japanese is to read manga, and you have no idea how to start, and your Japanese is still a little bit, let's say, basic, meaning 1 year of studying it, this one is your perfect option. I will leave behind in the description the link for the CD Japan, because I assume that you don't have any other options. If you have, of course, in your country, please check that first, because for sure that will be much more easier to buy. If it's the case that you are currently living in Japan, you can just go to your bookstore and buy it. So in that case, you will have it pretty easy. And yeah, I will start for sure with this one. It is a collection, and I purchased the collection, and I will have the collection I think in a month. Then I will show to you, because this is Ichinensei, meaning one first year student, and then it has from 1 to 6. So I imagine this is adapted for the ones that are currently studying in this level, for Japanese kids, of course. And then it has the seconds, third, fourth, fifth. So I think it goes from very basic to a little bit more complicated. But to make that 100% sure, I should for sure have the other manga. And when I have all of them, I will again make a video and recommend them or explain how they work. But really, I'm super happy. This is awesome. And I'm making my students read it, of course. And we read it together. 100% recommended. If the collection is like I imagine it is, when you finish this, you could go to the second, third, fourth, and then you could buy your first, let's say, shonen manga. You can choose whatever manga it is that you would like to check out. And from that, it will become much more harder than this, of course, 100% of course, but you will be more adapted to read manga in Japanese, I think. So thanks so much for watching this video, and see you in another one. Mata ne, arigato.